What's up? This is Josh Harraway and my boy Sorin, and we're about to go see War Games.
War Games.
So I know a little bit about what it's about. It's got something to do with the election, like documentary style, something like that.
Okay.
And
Nice.
so I don't really know a lot more than that about it. I don't think you know anything about it.
It's my favorite way to see a movie. I think I understand that it's like the idea of being like, well, what if we did kind of have a little civil war pop off?
That's my understanding.
And they're sort of like gaming it and
That's
stuff.
my understanding.
It's like how do you deal with that? Just like as you would. Like how do you war game that?
Supposedly it's kind of realistic, like it's improvisational, like with real political people.
So it's as if it's a documentary of them.
That's
doing
my
that
understanding.
For all I knew, it was completely theatrical. Like I love it. It's a good premise. I'm intrigued.
All right, so we're gonna go watch the movie, and we'll come back. We'll tell you what we think about it.
This is a groundbreaking documentary. Let's just, for starters, let's just say, like,
felt real. Like they really had their information together, and they had a lot of the footage was actually footage from January 6, 2021.
All those people who are in a position to know, they clearly understand that this is not a far-fetched scenario.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't even a fictional movie in any way at all. I felt like instead of going to a movie theater, we went to a time machine with nice, comfortable seats, and we transported ourselves 3 months into the future because the election is like 80-something days away. I felt like this was the most appropriate movie for me and you to watch because we're always having these political conversations.
Yeah.
The election's coming up in less than 3 months. The opposition guy, the guy who lost the election, he didn't want to accept it, which reminds me of one guy. I forget his name in real life, but anyway, it felt like how it would be, where it's just like, well,
they really played this out. These are real war games, just
it's
like
more of a
real
reenactment
military.
almost. Well, you know, it wasn't even a documentary of like what.
Well,
you know?
they turned the camera on. I mean, these aren't actors. See, again, like that's when you see Wesley Clark, Peter Strzok, like real people from the FBI and the military and members of Congress and governors. They're not actors. They're terrible at it when they try.
It is a documentary, but it wasn't even about it being filmed. It was a war game exercise to prepare for this, and then they filmed it. So they're literally like, we need to prepare for this, and then by the way, let's film what we're preparing for.
They touch on this, like this false sense of security that we have in the U.S. You know, it's like part of our delusion of exceptionalism that oh that wouldn't happen here. That's something that happens in other countries.
Yeah.
And you know what was really striking to me? They're talking in an unironic way. Like they naturally fall into this idea of oh well, can we put this insurrection down in a way that is we're united as a country in putting the insurrection down. There's just an inherent contradiction there. We're not united by like automatically, like it's a big part. We have this two-party system. There is no putting down an insurrection in a united way.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel I learned something. I knew about the Insurrection Act. Maybe you can explain it better than I can, but I was aware of it. But it seemed like the whole exercise turned into a chess game about when to invoke the Insurrection Act or just try not to have to invoke the Insurrection Act. Like the whole thing seemed to have come down to, like, that was the checkmate.
The liberal side of this, the pro-democracy side of this, like we're just always going to have our one hand tied behind our back in this fight, because like if you pull the Insurrection Act out to put down an anti-democratic movement, you're using the tools of authoritarianism. You're using the military. You kind of inherently have lost. Like you're already saying, like the democracy's in trouble. What we just watched, it should be appalling to people left, right, and center. The idea of January 6th should have been appalling to people left, right, and center. But
although I caught you sleeping a little bit at the end, and I closed my eyes a couple of times too. It was a little. It was a little long. It was a little bit long. I'll be honest. But it's not like a Hollywood movie it's it's not an action movie, so it's more of an intellectual movie. I would say, what do you think, man? I'd say it was a good movie, although I did close my eyes a few times. It's really intense. I would take a nap next time before I watch it. But I give it 2 thumbs up.
I think it's definitely something that people should see. Yeah, like again, I maybe nod it off, but I nod off in any setting where I can get to just chill for a minute, man.
Yeah,
you know
I
mean?
totally.
Like it's just you're talking to a guy who's fallen asleep during like getting tattooed. You know? So it's just, but I think that's one of those movies that everyone should see. So it's a one of a kind. It's incredibly timely, and people need to understand that this threat is real. See, because there is a huge group of people who just want to shut down all conversation about this very real divide, and they're not helpful. My big problem, this isn't addressed in this movie, it's these people that are just saying like, no, that's not a real division, that's not a real thing. And it's like, no, it is a real thing. There is a battle going on.
Oh, I totally agree, man. I think part of it is like, if you're able to swim, sometimes you go to the deeper end and there's less people there. And I always think about it like, there is a level of depth where the majority feels comfortable. But just really quick, 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up, what do you say?
I would give it 2 thumbs up. I would give it 2 thumbs up.
All right, cool. You heard it from us. It's Josh and Sorin. We give the movie 2 thumbs up. And yeah, you guys should go check it out.